Happy Arnold. Thank you, Cynthia, for that wonderful introduction. She's my neighbor. I'm so happy to be here today. I didn't think I'd be back. It's been a while since I've been up here. So I'll just start with a little bit about me. I recently retired from doing ultrasound after 15 years. When I studied ultrasound, I went to Florida Hospital College, which is now Adventist University. And being a religious school, they required you to do volunteer work. So at the time, many years ago, I volunteered at an adult daycare center in Altamont Springs. We have one here in Orange City. If you're not familiar with it, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's where you take your old people when you don't want them to be home alone while you're working. So I spent the summer, I did all my volunteer work at one time, and helped pass out crayons and stuff and such. It was quite easy work and quite fun, actually. Spent a lot of time with old people. Close to the end of my time there, this one old man said to me, "Do you want to know what your problem is?" He said, "I figured it out. Do you want to know?" And I was so excited. I thought, this man is going to bestow some wisdom. I said, absolutely. He's going to say something profound. He's going to fix my life. He's going to fix me. So I said, yes, please tell me. He said, it's your hair. He said, it's just too beautiful.
Aww.
And I said, that is not a problem. And he said, it is for me. So it's funny now. It wasn't funny at the time. I was absolutely devastated. This man had nothing profound to say. He didn't say any magic words. He didn't fix anything in my life. I thought he would say something and everything would be clear and my life would be changed forever. It's like if life was a test, I wanted someone to just give me all the answers. I wanted someone else to come along and fix everything. So I'll try to say something profound today, and if I don't, we'll just blame it on a bad hair day. I think life is about having the experience, feeling it, living it, finding the answers for yourself. We have teachers and mentors and friends along the way to help us, but we still have to learn it for ourselves. Reading about it is not the same as feeling it, experiencing it. When we think we don't have it right, we think someone else must. That someone else can come along and give us all the answers and help us take a shortcut. But many times I've had wonderful advice that I didn't follow. We need to stop judging all of our experiences. We need to change the way we look at it. When a baby learns to walk, falling is part of the process. We would never judge the baby for falling. We would never tell the baby, well, you fell 3 times, might as well give up. But we say that to ourselves, don't we? But to the baby, we would only encourage the baby. You almost have it. You're almost there. You can do it. Try again. So why are we so harsh with ourselves? Learning to talk lovingly to ourselves is always a good first step. I try to give it the friend test. If I wouldn't say it to my friend, I shouldn't say it to me. Buddha said, it is what it is, and not accepting what is the root of all suffering. Paraphrase that, of course. I think part of accepting what is forgiveness. Because things won't ever be perfect. We won't be perfect. Other people won't be perfect. And that's okay. We need to forgive ourselves and to forgive others. Lately, I've spent a lot of time studying other languages. My friends in high school always told me I was a nerd, and I never believed it. But now I guess I'm starting to believe it. But when you study another language, you spend a lot of time thinking about how we say things in English. And I was thinking a lot about how we say things in English and how it really shapes how you think. And I was trying to avoid having to speak up here again, but Spirit kept pushing me. So then when I logged on to YouTube just to listen to my music, there popped up a TED Talk, how language shapes the way you think. So of course I had to listen to it. And the speaker was Lara Boroditsky, hope I'm saying it right. She's a professor of cognitive science at the University of California, San Diego, and she studies language. So there is a whole science behind the words you use shape the way you think. But when I think of forgiveness, what comes to mind for me is, in English, we say forgive and forget. Like a matched pair, like they have to go together. So first, let's just start with forget. That's the easier one. My cat is a wonderful example. She rubs up against my legs, crawling in and out, underfoot, literally, and then I step on her tail. She screams, I scream, I cry, she's fine. A few minutes later, next time I go into the kitchen, there she is again, rubbing up against my legs. She clearly has forgotten I just stepped on her tail. Or she's really trusting, or both. But I wish it were that easy to forget sometimes. For people, it's much harder to forget, and it's different. For example, I say I need paper towels. I go to the grocery store. I spend $100 only to get home to find out I didn't buy paper towels. That's forgetting. Forgetting is something we do on accident. You don't make yourself forget. It happens by itself when you don't mean for it to happen. Forgetting seems impossible on purpose. So it makes forgiveness and forget seem impossible. Now, to me, forgiveness implies that someone else needs to be sorry, and then I can choose to pardon them. It's like they need to be sorry first, like I have to wait for them to ask to be forgiven. And we all know that's just not going to happen in every case. But it stops us from forgiveness if we think it that way. So the words forgive and forget seem to imply an impossible task. With the words shaping the way we think, it's the words that hold us back. What we need are different words. When we change the words, we can change the way we think about it. I like the words release and rise above, because what we want is to be released, to not be tied to the incident, to not relive it, to not continue to feel it, to not continue to think about it, to not feel the guilt or the pain, especially our own guilt. Isn't it always hardest to forgive ourselves? We want to release our tie to the guilt and to the guilt of others. Holding on to it only hurts us more. We need to let it all go. We want to release and rise above. We want to release our tie to our guilt and the guilt of the other person, whether they're guilty or not. I was trying to think of a word for when someone trespasses against you, what that is to me. And words like grudge and grievance come to mind. But even the word implies that it's something petty and small, and that I shouldn't hold on to it. But we all know there are some things that have happened to people in the past that are not small, but it's not petty. And you do have a right to be mad and to hold on to it for a certain amount of time. We can't wait for someone else to be sorry to heal ourselves. We need to rise above. When we talk about forgiveness, as in releasing and rising above, we're talking about how it applies to ourselves, just our part, not the other person's part. If they did something they need to be sorry for, they're responsible for their own part of that. They're not released from their responsibility just because we forgive and release. It's just about releasing our tie to it, to be free from it, to not relive it, to let it go and to let it be. I feel like I've been working on forgiveness my entire adult life. So there are a couple of things I say to myself that I use to try and help me. The first one is, I just did the best I could. Or they just did the best they could. I remind myself that they are just people, and so am I. They make mistakes, and so do I. But I tell myself over and over again, he just did the best he could, and the best he could sometimes was just not that good. And I say it over and over and over again until I start to believe it. The next thing I tell myself is, I didn't deserve it. Whatever happened to you, you didn't deserve it. Especially if you were a child at the time. You didn't deserve it. Most likely it happened because you were the one who was there. You didn't deserve it then, and you don't deserve it now. You don't deserve to keep reliving it. You don't deserve to keep hurting from it. You don't deserve to hold on to it. You can't change the past, but you don't have to keep letting it affect the present. You can choose to release and rise above. Sometimes I think I'm over it, and something comes up and reminds me, and all of a sudden I'm back to being mad. I'm back to holding on to it. I thought I had let it go, but there it is, once again, making me mad. And then I tell myself it's okay to be mad. I give myself some time to be mad. And then when I feel that time is up, I try to let go of the anger. Because you can't forgive and release when you're mad. And there's a time for being mad, and there's a time for letting go. It's okay to be mad. It's part of the process. What you don't want to do is to ignore it and stuff it down. Being mad and stuffing it down affects your body. You need to feel it and release it. Every time it comes up, feel it and release it. Again and again and again, until it finally works. The important part is to keep trying. It's part of the process. It takes practice. It only fails when you stop trying. You have to keep trying until you succeed. Forgiveness, as in releasing, is a gift we give ourselves. We need to give it to ourselves to love ourselves. It's about us, not the other person. Forgiveness, as in releasing, is for us because we need it and we deserve it. And I hope y'all can find forgiveness, as in releasing, a little bit more possible going forward. I wish y'all love and light and the peace of releasing from forgiveness that it can bring. Thank you.